If you've been wanting better nighttime visibility on your S2 Del Mar, this is one of the cleanest upgrades you can make. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to install SWMotek EVO fog lights on the LiveWire S2 Del Mar from start to finish. We'll cover mounting the lights, routing the wire, connecting everything cleanly, and a few tips I learned during the install so you can avoid common headaches. To make this install possible, I've designed a plug-and-play mounting kit that's available on my website. It gives the EVO fog lights a factory-looking fit without having to fabricate your own brackets. And I'll show you exactly how it all goes together in this video. Whether you're adding these lights for better visibility, more confidence riding at night, or just want to give your Del Mar or any LiveWire bike a more adventure-ready look, this guide should have everything you need. Let's get started. All right, so this is everything that is included in the EVO fog light from SWMotek. You've got the main wiring harness, and I've already pre-wired an SAE connector. I've got a video on my channel showing exactly how I did this cable. But essentially, the white and the blues go together into the red, and then black to black. You've got two fog lights with mounting brackets. These are ambidextrous. They're not one left or one right. They're both, you can swap them either side. Mounting bolts, some cable ties. You've got a wire splicer. This is so that you can attach the blue wire into like a headlight wire if you wanted to. I'm not doing that on the LiveWire bikes because the 12 volt signal is already a switch source. So that means that whenever the bike is off, the lights are off. You don't have to worry about it draining the 12 volt battery. You have the power switch itself to turn the lights on and off. You can mount this on a handlebar or kind of store it anywhere else on the bike. Some little rubber grips, that's for the handle itself so that you can wrap that around your handlebar and not worry about scuffing up any of the paint. And if you buy these off my website and you have an S2 bike, I will toss in these mounting brackets. You're gonna have to have these for the bike unless you want to fabricate your own. Again, that's for the S2. If you own a LiveWire 1, you can use a pre-existing mounting point. This little air scoop right here. I just put the bolt through the mounting hole using a little bit longer bolt. But that's everything that's included, and let's go ahead and start tossing this on the bike. We're gonna take off the tank fairing and then these side fairings that are on the side here. For all these bolts, these are all T25 bolts. You've got two on this air scoop, same on the right side of the bike. And then for the tank, there's 5 bolts total, 2 here, 1 here, right here on the left side, and then the same location but just on the right side. Okay, now that we've got all the screws off, one thing to note is that the tank fairing is still held in place. There are these little plastic clips right here on either side, and all you do is just pull out and it'll come out of the All right, now that we have everything exposed, we can start wiring things up. Now from here, it doesn't matter which components you start with. You can mount the fog lights first and then do the wiring. You can do the wiring and then the fog lights. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna have the same result. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount these brackets for the lights. So I've already installed this bracket onto the light itself. It comes with this bolt already pre-installed and the mounting part. The only thing that you have to do is put the light onto the bracket itself and then secure it with this little Allen key or a bolt. One thing to notice is that on the lights themselves, you have to make sure that you have this oriented in the right position. On the glass itself, it says top, and so you just want to make sure that whenever the mount's lighted that part is facing up. So we're going to take our M6 bolt. These brackets come pre-drilled. These are the attachment points for the bike, and then this one's for the light itself. So we're going to pass it through here. And this is a T30 or Allen key size equivalent. And what you want to do before you screw the bracket onto the bike, you want to make sure that you have the alignment where you want it to be. So I'm just going to take the bracket, I'm going to line it up, those 2 bolt holes, and then I'm going to just kind of eyeball it to where I want it just about, and then just tighten it down all the way. Now you will be able to move this just a little bit once you have it on the bike. So you can still kind of adjust it down, left and right. So we've got that on. So now we want to install it. So we're going to switch back to our T25. Okay, so the bracket goes between the bike and this plastic air scoop. All right, and those are just hand tight. And then from here, we can take our cable. Now there's different ways that you can wire this up. You can pass it behind the bracket and have it come out through here, kind of a little bit better for cable management. Okay, and then from there, we're going to feed it up through the neck by the horn. And then just have it here. And then we'll have that ready for when we do the rest of the harness. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to show it on camera, but I'm going to do the exact same thing, but on the other side. All right, so now I've got both lights are installed on the bike, and I've got each of the connectors right here. These are going to go underneath the fairings. The next step is you're going to want to decide what you want to do with your switch. Now on my LiveWire 1, I have my switch mounted here on the handlebars, which is fine, but this light illuminates, and at night it's really, really bright. So if you're going to mount it on the handlebars, I would suggest moving it kind of close to underneath the screen so that way it doesn't blind you as you're riding. Keep in mind that the 12 volt power, as long as you're using the P&A port, it is a switched position. So I actually will just ride with my switch underneath the seat. And it'll always be in the on position because I don't have to worry about it draining power because it's a switch position. It's going to turn off when the bike turns off. When I turn the bike on, the lights, they come on themselves. And if I'm ever in a situation where I just don't want them on for whatever reason, I pop the seat off, turn the lights off, and then I put the seat back on. It's going to take me 5 seconds to do that. But for the most part, I'm going to have them running all the time. You can have yours mounted on the handlebar anywhere here. Again, I would have mine low, so that way this thing doesn't shine bright in your face. You could also have it, I mean, really anywhere else. You know, you could zip tie this thing down close to a fairing. You just reach over, you hit it, you turn it on. There's lots of options. Point being is that you want to have this in the position where you want it to be after you're done with the install, and then secure it before you start putting tank fairings and everything back on. This cable is long enough, so that way if it's on your handlebars, it is long enough to come back to where your harness is going to be. So figure out what that's going to be, and then we'll move on to the next step. Again, mine's going to be kind of like in here somewhere. And you could even connect it to this bar if you wanted to. Okay, so one thing about this harness is that it's really, really long. And so there's 2 different ways you can manage this once we get it in here. You can bundle the excess up with a cable tie and then store it somewhere in here. Or you can kind of take a little bit of use of that length and just kind of snake it through the body. There's nothing that really goes anywhere in here. You can't fit anything else in here. But if you wanted to run other accessory cables, you're going to want to have room for those things as well. So we can either cable it up, tuck them inside around here somewhere, or run them at length and then tuck them kind of up in here somewhere. But just however you do it, just make sure that if you're going to bundle things together, that anywhere the cable is going to be touching a hard point, that you have some kind of an abrasive protection. But if you just cable tie it to like this right here, that keeps it from rubbing up against other metal components. You don't have to worry about it wearing out or anything like that through vibration. So I'm going to wire mine up, and you can either do it how I do it or you do a little bit different, but the point is that you make it nice, clean, manageable, and that you try to avoid any kind of loose wires just kind of dancing around inside there. That's going to either cause noise or it's going to wear through the wiring eventually. And you can either start here at the PNA port and then work your way up to the cable harness, or you can work your way from this connection and then work your way back. Doesn't really matter because of how much length you've got here. All right, so now I've got all the plastics and everything put back on, and bike is on, fog lights are on. Install's complete. I do want to show you where I tended to put everything. Now, the idea is to maintain functionality of anything else that I need to get in here. So if I needed to access my PNA port, I can still get to it. If I needed to get to the 12-volt battery, I can still get to it. If I needed to get to my fuse box, I can still get to it. Everything is tucked up nice and neat inside the side fairings. Button is nice and secure on the other side. And it's, if I need to turn it on or off, it's just one seat lift away from getting there. Now from here, what you would want to do is follow the same procedures for setting up the headlights, meaning that you want to get 25 feet away from a wall, get on the bike, sit on it, and you want to make sure that your fog lights, the light that they emit does not go above your headlight. You want to make sure that it's from the headlight and down. Check the user's manual. It shows you the proper way to adjust the headlight, how many inches up it needs to be legally safe for other people on the road so that you don't blind them. And then wait until it's dark outside, adjust the lights to the left or right, depending on what, however you want it to look. And then that's it. Again, these are available on my website, adventuresonzero.com. If you order the EVO fog lights, I've got a drop-down list, select S2 if you're buying it for the S2, and then these brackets will be included. And then make sure that if you don't already have a 12-volt cable, that you order one for yourself. If not, you can check out this video right here where I show you how to wire it to the bike.